Hello everyone. Welcome back to Rank Talks Bowl for another watch along, and it's a big one. It's a huge game that we have here right now. It's gonna be Boca Juniors up against River Plate in the Superclásico of Argentinian football, the biggest game of the year, basically. Every time I just, you look at the schedule and it's like, when do we play River Plate? It's like that every time. It's like the biggest rivalry there is. You've seen it plenty of times already in the channel, and it hasn't gone our way ever since I started doing these watch alongs. That doesn't mean that I'm gonna stop trying. We're gonna go ahead and jump straight into this one, and it's a huge one. It's a huge one because unlike other times where maybe there was one team that was struggling and another one who was on the rise or that was alive in other competitions, this time both Boca and River pretty much just reach in a very low point, and it's an interesting thing. But both teams have still a lot to gain. As I say hello to Mr. Krabs, thank you so much for joining the stream. Because if we look at this table, not the table of the tournament, because the Argentinian football is weird. You can watch my video on how Argentinian football works and the Argentinian football pyramid and how everything is just so weird and messed up about our league. But apart from the table, that is the one with the groups, and whoever finishes in the top 8 of each group, makes it into the playoffs and whatever, and that determines who's the champion of the tournament and whatever. You also have an aggregate table which sums up all of the points that you've gathered across the year, and that's the table that actually qualifies you for international competitions like the Copa Libertadores, which is the most important one. It's like the Champions League of South America, and it's the competition that both Boca and River aspire to participate in every year and obviously to win. If we look at that table, Boca are currently in second place with 56 points, while River are in third place with 52 points. And after this, there's only one game left. And the top 2 qualifies directly into the Copa Libertadores. The third place team makes it into the preliminary stages, which is the one that Boca was earlier this year, where we lost against Alianza Lima. And after that, it's just qualification to the Copa Sudamericana. So, Boca with a win here today will secure qualification for next year's Copa Libertadores group stage, which is huge because ever since the 2023 edition, Boca have not featured in the Copa Libertadores. We missed out on 2 editions in a row, the 2024 and most recently the 2025 edition. We did participate in the preliminary stages, but we didn't actually reach the group stages, which was a huge disappointment. So getting back into the Copa Libertadores group stage, I think would be the bare minimum, but it would already be progress considering where we're coming from. And doing it by beating River would be, just a cherry on top. And also, if we beat River, that also makes it very hard for River to qualify to the Copa Libertadores next year. River pretty much have to win this game and then win their last game and hope that Boca don't win to qualify to the Copa Libertadores directly. They can still aspire for that third position, which would be the preliminary stages, but that would be kind of complicated. And if River were to lose today, the teams that are catching up to them have a chance to surpass them, and it would make things very complicated for River to actually qualify to the Copa Libertadores on the final match day, and their last resort would have to be to then go through the playoff gauntlet and win the entire tournament, which in their current form I think would be quite difficult. So it's a massive game. If Boca win, we're into the Libertadores, and we also reduce River's chances to make it into the Libertadores themselves massively. So I think it's a huge opportunity for this team that hasn't really given me much to celebrate, to actually punch River while they are down and just give us something to celebrate just in this year that has been an absolute disaster. Well, we still haven't won a trophy. We have a chance still to win this tournament, but I'm not really optimistic on it. And yeah, we went out in the Copa Libertadores in the preliminary stages, losing to Alianza Lima earlier in the year. I made a whole video about it. We were eliminated in the group stages of the Club World Cup, getting a draw against a semi-professional team, which I also made a video about. We got eliminated early in the Cup. We didn't do much better in the league in the first half of the season. So, like, it's been a super disappointing year for Boca. Winning the derby and qualifying to next year's Libertadores while also making it difficult for River to qualify themselves would be such a redeeming moment for this team. And I'm really hoping that it happens, because I feel like it would also be such a wasted opportunity to not win this game, not punch River while they're down, and allow them an opportunity to pick themselves back up and potentially qualify to next year's Libertadores. I really don't want to see that, especially seeing the poor form that they're coming into. So let's talk a bit about the lineups here. Let me show my browser that I have over here. And let me also turn on my camera again so that this doesn't happen. There we go. So Boca's lineup, obviously Claudio Úbeda is the coach. Úbeda replacing Miguel Ángel Russo, who sadly passed away a few weeks ago. I believe that about a month ago. Obviously tragic stuff. But Úbeda, inexperienced, he's doing his job, just replacing Russo. The lineup that he's chosen: Marchesín in goal. Marchesín, who's been started out well, but ever like the last few games, it's been extremely shaky on his end. He's obviously a goalkeeper with a lot of experience, national team experience, European football experience, but his last few performances have been extremely shaky, and I've been super frustrated with him, and I have no confidence in him at all to be the goalkeeper for this game. So I think we're just kind of winging it, and I'm hoping that it sticks. The back four, it's the same that it has been for the last couple of games, with Lautaro Blanco, the left back, probably one of our more creative players, Barinaga as the right back, and the center back partnership of Di Lolo and Ayrton Costa. I think this is my favorite partnership that we have right now, considering that Pellegrino is injured as the other left-footed center back, and I think that Di Lolo has improved a lot over the course of the last few games. Barinaga is an okay right back, I suppose. I would have really liked to see Gorosito there, especially considering the great job that he did on the Under-20 World Cup, but it is what it is. For this type of game, I don't really have much complaint about the back four. The midfield, Paredes and Milton Delgado as the double pivot. I'm so glad that Paredes returning to the squad after his suspension for the last match day against Estudiantes doesn't mean that Delgado gets kicked out of the starting 11, because that's something that really worried me. Obviously, Leandro Paredes returning to Boca during the half of the year has been our best player, like by far, and you could argue that he's the best player in Argentinian football period right now. Incredibly, massively talented midfielder in absolutely everything he does, how he controls the game and the set pieces and whatnot, and the through balls, whatever. Obviously, after his suspension last match day, he was always going to start this game, but I'm really glad that the other number 6, Milton Delgado, does not get replaced by Paredes, but instead joins Paredes in the midfield in that double pivot, because I feel like they could really gel up well together and actually do a good job. On the left wing, Ezequiel Ceballos, who is one of my favorite players on this team. He's not very technically gifted, but he's someone who provides a different role that Boca sometimes need in terms of a winger that kind of runs at people and tries to dribble and create opportunities and just make runs in behind and not just stand still waiting for the ball to get to his feet. So I really appreciate that from him, and in the last few games he's actually picked up some form. He's been scoring some more goals, he's been getting more involved, which I'm really happy to see. So I'm definitely happy to see him start. On the other side, Carlos Palacios, not really impressed with the Chilean over the last couple of games. I think that he's either going to play on the right or he's going to be shifting towards the middle to play like a number 10 or whatever. Not really impressed with him. I really hope that he proves me wrong, but I don't think he's going to do much in this game. And then we have the double striker with Miguel Merentiel and Milton Jimenez. Miguel Merentiel, who was our shining star in the Club World Cup, including a goal against Bayern Munich. Ever since then, his form has kind of dipped, but he's still a really important piece of our attack. Milton Jimenez is someone who is extremely limited. It's like one of the worst strikers I've ever seen, but he still manages to get goals, so that's something that I appreciate. He at least does his job as a striker, so I'm not too mad about him being in the starting 11. I don't think that the double striker formation has worked out for Boca very well in the last few games, but since it's what we've been playing the most, I think it makes sense to stick with it for a game like this. Something that really annoys me is the return of Edinson Cavani to the bench. You might say, well, isn't Cavani returning to the bench a good thing? Well, not in my opinion. Cavani is coming off a long streak of injuries. He's been unavailable for what feels like the last 10 games at this point. It's probably less than that, but I'm just, it's been a lot of games without Cavani. And the fact that he's returned precisely for this game raises a couple of eyebrows in me. It could be, I could give him the benefit of the doubt and say that he just recovered for this game, and it was just a coincidence. But having Cavani at the club for the last 2 years, I believe that's no coincidence, because I'm pretty certain that he chooses which games he wants to play. During 2024, he mostly played home games. He didn't really play games on the road unless it was like a big game, and it was always because of a discomfort or whatever. And to me, the fact that he's returning to the bench specifically to play against River either suggests me that, one, he's been recovered for a long period of time and he just decided to stay on the sidelines and return specifically for this game, saving himself up, or that he's not recovered at all and that he's forcing himself into the bench, both of which would be horrible. And I'm sure that he's going to make a cameo off the bench, and I'm not looking forward to it because he's been pretty bad. So yeah, not really looking forward to that. On the side of River, we have Armani in goal. No surprise there. Gallardo has decided to shift into a back five, considering the injury that he had to one of his forwards, Facundo Colidio, who would have most likely started. Now it's a back five with 3 center backs, Martinez Cuarta, Paulo Diaz, and Rivero, who is like one of the wonder kids from the River Academy, who I think he's been pretty decent as a center back. I don't dislike him whatsoever. Then on the right back, world champion experience, Gonzalo Montiel. On the left back, world champion experience in Marcos Acuña. Montiel, kind of iffy, not really consistent, while Acuña has been absolutely dreadful in the last couple of games, which I'm obviously super happy, but I'm also scared that they both may as well turn up for this game, and I really don't like that. The midfield is going to be Kevin Castaño, Portillo, and Maxi Mesa. Maxi Mesa, somebody who you might remember from the 2018 World Cup, probably one of the worst players that I've seen wearing the national team jersey. He hasn't really been starting games, so it's a surprise to see him in the starting 11. Usually the midfield of River composes of Castaño, Portillo, and one of the veterans that Gallardo likes to run with, either Enzo Perez or Nacho Fernandez. And it kind of annoys me because I feel like those two players from the old guard are a big part in why River has regressed in their play, especially in the midfield. And it kind of annoys me that in this game specifically, Gallardo has decided to drop them and actually go for a younger midfield, which may actually have a bit more grit despite not being as technically gifted. And because of not having Colidio, the double striker is going to be Sebastián Driussi and Maxi Salas. Driussi, who you may know from Zenit, and Salas, who was bought during the half of the year from Racing Club in what was like a big scandal storyline on the transfer window. And yeah, Salas was really good at the start, but now he's also kind of faltering. The entirety of River Plate is struggling. If we look at like their current form, they only won one of their last 5 games, and I also believe that they lost 4 consecutive games at home, which is something that hadn't happened in like 99 years for them, which is kind of crazy. Boca's form, not really that consistent either, but at least we're coming off 2 massive wins on the road, mind you, against Barracas Central and Estudiantes. Not convincing wins, but wins after all. This 5-0 win over Newell's barely counts because Newell's are such garbage that I don't even feel comfortable counting that as a win, but you know, it's good that we beat them by that margin. The point is that River isn't really doing that well. Boca is doing better, but isn't really convincing. I was surprised, you know, ever since, because Colirio got injured, that Miguel Borja didn't make an appearance, but I guess it makes sense because Borja has been just so unbelievably trashed that I don't think even Gallardo believes in him. So those are the lineups and the things to expect for the game. I need to activate my camera again. Hold up. There we go. So yeah, those are kind of my thoughts. Imran, hey, did you watch the Manchester City-Liverpool match? Yeah, I obviously did, and I mean, I didn't make a watch-along, and I'm kind of happy I didn't, because I would have been even more frustrated and with less desire to actually make this watch-along going into this one. Yeah, terrible performance on the side of Liverpool, and that kind of hampers or come back into the title race once again. Register, thank you so much for joining. Welcome back. We are here assembled to dunk on their misery so far this season. Yeah, I think, like I was talking at the beginning, it would be a wasted opportunity to not stomp on River while they're down. I believe it's a great opportunity to actually finally get a win over them, qualify to the Copa Libertadores, and actually make it difficult for them to qualify to the Libertadores themselves. So I really hope that we get this done and I don't have to, you know, suffer through another disappointment once again. Nicolas Ramirez is going to be the referee of the game. How do I feel about it? I have mixed emotions, because on one side I feel like Ramirez is probably one of the most professional and, you know, has some of the best criteria in Argentine football right now when it comes to referees. What I don't really like is that he's actually refereed the last 3 Superclásicos, counting this one, and in the previous 2 there's been key decisions that he's made that were favoring River. This may come as, you know, me playing the victim card. I want to say that over the last 2 years River has been better than us in pretty much every single aspect, and that those derbies that we lost were, you know, lost on deservedly, in my opinion. But I do think that Ramirez was favoring River in key decisions, and especially if we like River were getting away with tackles that normally they wouldn't get away with. And that has me slightly worried, but I trust that he, like I said, he's a serious referee and that he has some of the best criteria, and I hope that sticks true to himself. Is Argentina really going to Angola for a friendly? Apparently that's going to happen, and apparently other countries in Africa like Morocco and Senegal rejected hosting the national team because we were asking for an unfathomable amount of money just to have the World Cup winners play at their home stadiums, and Messi's presence wasn't even guaranteed. So I think that, yeah, our federation was just being extremely greedy, and that didn't sit well with some of the most respected CAF federations. But I think that Angola, obviously, it's probably an opportunity that they couldn't really pass up. And yeah, I'm a bit disappointed that we're gonna keep playing Minions instead of actually playing a good team that would actually help us in our preparation. Remember, everybody, that you cannot spoil me on anything that happens in the game. If you're ahead of me, ahead of my clock, and you see something that happens in the game, don't post it in the chat over here until I have reacted to it. Because if I see something in the chat that actually ruins my reaction of the game, if you tell me something beforehand and it ruins my reaction, that kind of defeats the purpose of the watch along, and it would be really annoying. So please, if you see something happen in the game, don't say anything until you have seen my reaction. Then you are free to type in the chat and discuss about it. So yeah, just a heads up as we are really, really close to the start of the game. Feeling tense because, again, this is such a massive opportunity. I don't want us to fumble again because we fumbled so many stuff over the last few years that I don't want to see that happen again. I'm going to narrow the chat a little bit. That should be good. We're very close to the start of the game now. Vamos Boca, eh? Please, man, please, just once, for all the people that are in La Bombonera right now and for everyone watching on TV, win. Just once win. Kick them while they're down. They kept crawling to La Bombonera. It's our opportunity to fully take them out. Oh my god, and the start of the game is being delayed because something fell over the goal. Like literally just a piece of the serpentines. Right, it seems like everything's good now. It was nothing violent, it was just those serpentines that they throw like when the team was walking out onto the pitch, like fell in front of the goal, and you know, it was annoying apparently. The game's gone basically. Are we not on their way? What happened? What? I clicked it because I saw the referee just blow his whistle, but apparently we're not on their way. Come on, man. Stop with these delays. Come on, Vamos Boca. And we are underway here in La Bombonera. It's the Superclásico of Argentine football. It's Boca Juniors up against River Plate in a massive game where if Boca wins, we can secure qualification to the Copa Libertadores. And River are very much in a must-win situation if they want to make it into the Libertadores themselves. Both teams not really getting into this in the best form, but we'll have to see if the form even matters when coming into this game. Hello Owen, what link are you using to the match? No, I'm just watching it on TV. I'm not using a link. Okay, good from Costa to clear the danger away as Mesa was trying to make a run in behind. Okay, good from Barinaga to win the ball back. That's going to be a throw-in for Boca. Hello Adam, thank you so much for joining. Glad to have you back. I do hope that you find a link to watch the game yourself, Owen. Ooh, long ball from Castillo for Salas. Marchesín comes off his line and just barely deflects it in your way. This is something that Marchesín does a lot, where just he comes off his line at random times. This time it was, you know, a good intervention, but most of the times it felt like he was doing something unnecessarily dangerous. River Plate's little brother, Rayo Vallecano. Ay. So funnily enough, Dua Lipa is at the stadium. Yeah, you just studied Masterclass. Yeah, because Dua was performing in River's stadium, in the Estadio Monumental, the last 2 nights, I believe. She had concerts, and yeah, now she's here in La Bombonera. I'm telling you, this is one of the biggest games. No, Teis Sports doesn't have the image rights for the Superclásico. They do have commentary, but it's not with images of the game. Dua Lipa is a Liverpool fan. I don't remember that for a long time the One Kiss song was used by Liverpool for like celebrations. Oh, that's a good play. Milton isn't able to control the ball inside the box. That's gonna get cleared away. Okay, Salas fouls Paredes. That's gonna be a free kick for Boca. Yeah, I mean, if Boca were also to lose today, I mean, that would just be a disastrous day for me. I remember the last time I made a stream for the Superclásico. Actually, the one last year. It was... No, not the last year. Yeah, the last time I made a stream for the Superclásico, I also made a watch-along for Liverpool against Tottenham, because that was the game in which Liverpool won the league last season. And so it was like a super long stream where first we watched Liverpool win the Premier League, and then we watched the Superclásico, and Boca lost at home. No, we lost on the road, which I was really annoyed by, obviously, because I couldn't close out a perfect day, which was Liverpool winning the title and then Boca beating River. But now, Liverpool has lost, which I'm obviously sad about, but if Boca could at least win the Superclásico, that would make my day a lot better. Yeah, you're right, Regis. Mastantuono's free kick. That was superb. That's basically what got him to Real Madrid instantly. Yeah, the departure of Franco Mastantuono really hurt River's performance in the second half of the year, for sure. Okay, the cross from Paredes gets cleared away. That is a bad pass from Blanco. It's going to be a throw-in for River. This is the thing. There are so many grabs and tackles inside the box that go on that VAR doesn't take a look to, which personally I feel like VAR should take a look at them just so they stop doing it, because they're just pushing the loss of the game and stretching their meaning, just because if you were to give some of those as penalties, you would have to give like 20 penalties every game. But like, it's what you have to do if you want that kind of behavior to stop. If not, it's just like you're allowing people to break the rules. Rojas no longer here as well. Yeah, Rojas hasn't been in Liverpool's, not Liverpool's, River squad for, I don't want to say over a year now. Do you think Gallardo might potentially get sacked if things continue this way? He just signed a new contract, right? Yeah. He signed a contract extension with River Plate's new president, Stefano Di Carlo. So because River got a new president, they kind of wanted to assure Gallardo that he was going to continue no matter what, give him the confidence, and so that's why they signed him a new contract. And that's why I think even if he didn't sign a new contract, I don't think he would have gotten sacked if he lost to Boca, unless it was like a really, really bad loss, because you never want to give your rivals the satisfaction of saying we left you without a coach. So I think that he might have not been sacked instantly after, but if he had lost this game, I think he would have been under a lot of danger for sure. Now that he's renewed his contract, I think it's less likely that Gallardo actually gets sacked, at least until the end of the year. And it's going to depend on the results. And besides that, I don't know. Like I said, I would have struggled to see him being sacked even if he lost to Boca, or at least right away. And to me, him signing a new contract just kind of says that, okay, they're going to trust him no matter what. Which I don't think is the best idea for River. Hello, AD. Thank you for joining. Glad to have you here. So River are pressing up much higher than I initially expected. And it's making me feel a bit uneasy. Montiel for Castaño. Puts somewhat of a cross, but gets blocked easily. Okay, Castaño on the edge of the box. Montiel tries to score it in, gets cleared away by Ayrton Costa. Nice. Now we have to figure out a way to get the ball back. Cruzeiro are tying Flamengo, Fluminense 0-0 right now. Fair enough. Where do we recommend people outside Argentina get Boca stuff? It seems quite hard. Find them here. I don't really have a lot of expertise on like what's better for markets outside of Argentina, if I'm being honest. Ooh, Salas with the long distance shot, but that's a routine save for Marchesín. Boca are playing really slow. As I say that, Paredes with a long ball for Merentiel, but that's an easy catch for Armani. But yeah, besides those attempts from Paredes, Boca are playing really slow right now. I don't mind us being patient, but I need to see more action on the ball, because it feels like we're doing the thing where we just have the ball for the sake of having the ball and denying our opponents goal scoring opportunities. But like, we're standing in this weird 4-1-2 formation, 4-1-2-2, and the 4 and the 2 just basically don't talk to each other. And yeah, that makes things very complicated on land. Eventually, yeah. Lyon PSG kickoff. All right, fair enough. Oh, what's happening with my TV? No, not my antenna, man. No. Don't do this to me right now. Don't do this to me right now. Not my antenna, man. There's not even a storm right now. Okay. We're back. Yeah, it's just this thing that Boca does once in a while where we just have the ball for the sake of having the ball and we just stand around. Not really making any breakthrough passes, no one's moving outside of the ball, no one's getting away from their mark, and it makes it really difficult to make progress. And it's frustrating for sure. Oh, Varinaga loses in the duel against Salas. Is the stadium packed? As always. Every time La Bombonera is packed. More so for a Superclásico, it's kind of the game that nobody wants to miss. And I'm sure that they oversell tickets for this game as well. Okay, yellow card for Martinez Cuarta. That's good to have one of River's center backs on a yellow already for that foul on Ceballos. Alright, let's see if this set piece can be the start of something great. We need to do something with our set pieces, which, you know, haven't been great, and on the opposite, you know, because set pieces against us have been very dangerous. I just hope that we can use set pieces in our favor for once. Having Paredes to be the one with the delivery should help with that. Paredes with the cross, far post, that is nowhere near the box, and so that's going to be a goal kick for River. Okay, Castaño with the long ball for Salas. No foul. Nice. Okay, that was a big scare, if you ask me. Merentiel tries to win against Pablo Diaz, and no, it's just not the day for the strikers up against, you know, just solid defenses. Martinez just scored for Inter already. Nice. Jimenez, no foul, says Ramirez. Okay, Ceballos gets dispossessed annoyingly. I had a tingling sensation. I didn't give a score prediction, but I had a tingling sensation that this wasn't going to be a high octane action game. As I say that, this is a good cross, gets intercepted by Armani. But that was actually a good cross from Blanco, and we're going to need a lot more than that from our left back. One of the few creative outputs we have are the crosses from Blanco. And we're going to need more like that. I did have like an inkling sensation that this wasn't going to be a high scoring game. I hope that it's not a high scoring game on River's end, but I'm wrong on Boca's end, obviously. Acuna, and that's an easy catch for Marchesin. So far the crosses from either side have not really been that effective, easily caught by the goalkeepers. Is that going to be a corner? Yeah, that's going to be the first corner, I believe, for Boca at least. Have you seen the Dragon Ball Z X Boca shirts? I have not. Just learning now of this information. Are they like real or are they like fan made or whatever? Okay, what is going on with my antenna? I'm getting slightly annoyed by that. Man, please don't make me do this. Why do I have to struggle with you? Not on a time like this. Come on, man, please. Don't do this to me. Okay, it seems like there was another corner while we were gone. But it got cleared away. That's gonna be a throw-in for River. Okay, that was an action that River were trying to appeal with a possible elbow from Ayrton Costas onto Salas's face. But there's nothing that Villar can do there. Because it's clearly not a red card offense. Delgado, yeah, River's pressing has been very high. I really hope we find a way to escape it and actually threatening them with all the space they are leaving behind them. The referee, I think, was saying that's a throwing for River, honestly. Montiel for Mesa gets intercepted. Castaño with the shot from distance, and that's an easy save for Marchesín once again. So far, no trouble for the goalkeepers, it seems. Is there any fight in the team? Not yet, and it's worrying me because it's kind of like exactly what I wanted to see from them, and I don't think it's working right now. I have to screen this game on American football NFL. I don't think NFL needs to be a game in Argentina. I don't think it would be very successful, honestly. Too many pauses for it to work here. Oh. Come on, man. We need people to move off the ball as well. If you only move when you have the ball, that doesn't really make much of a difference. Please have some movement, especially in the midfield. We're struggling to find Paredes in comfortable positions. Obviously, they're gonna man mark him like crazy. But like the other ones have to carry then. Cross cleared away. We try to fight for the ball back. No, we don't get it. Will we see Herrera on the pitch today? I hope so. I was fairly impressed with him after his last recovery. I think that he's slowly but surely making a positive impact on the team. So I wouldn't be surprised to see a cameo at some point. Okay, VAR is taking a look at something while Martinez Cuarta is down on the floor, but apparently the check has been stopped. They keep showing Dua Lipa in your stream. Oh, that's a good ball for Salas. Okay, offside. Are you guys getting outplayed a bit? I don't think we're getting outplayed either. I don't think River is really doing much of anything. But we are the team that's on the ball. We are at home. We have the responsibility, and we have, like I said, the possession to kind of try and do something about this current state of the game. And I just don't think we're doing enough to change the outcome as of now. What is the computer system having a look? What do you mean? Pass to Mesa. Okay, they are not able to put in a cross, thank goodness. They were posted pictures with Dua holding their jersey. Yeah, shameless for us. VAR? VAR on what, Adam? Like what you asked earlier? Salah so far seems to have been the most dangerous on River's side. Not that he's created a clear goal scoring opportunity, but he's received the ball a couple of times in behind our lines, or in between our lines, should I say, and having a good touch, and suddenly he has a shot on target. So I think we should probably do something about Yeah, that guy, Salas, and take extra precautions. I mean, they probably gave Dua the jersey because he was at their stadium. Right now, he was watching an Argentina. He was using an Argentina jersey to like not choose a side, I suppose. Acuña and Salas once again linking up. This time on the left. Okay, that's gonna be an easy region. Let's see if we can get some more involvement from Paredes in the game. That would do us a massive favor. So far it feels like we have the ball, but we really don't know what to do with it, and it's growing frustrating to watch. I'm sure I've barely spoken about the game because there's barely anything happening on my screen right now, which I was afraid that would be the case, considering the state of both teams. Both perhaps trying to be a bit too conservative for me. Oh, Jimenez with the header, but it's cleared away. Could have been a clear opportunity if he managed to get a touch on that. Okay, let's try that once again. Okay, gotta say, Boca's defense so far has done a great job at deactivating everything that River has tried to do, especially with those long balls. But it's not gonna be enough. We need to do something in the offense as well. Mesa fell on his own, and apparently it's an injury as well. Unlucky for River if that's the case. Yeah, it seems like they're gonna take Mesa off. Man, I knew it wasn't gonna be like I had that hunch that it wasn't gonna be action packed and that it was gonna be low scoring, but man, this even exceeded my expectations in terms of a boring game. Okay, and I wonder what the substitution for Mesa is instead of River. Oh, what a great interception by Paulo Diaz. Ceballos with the long distance shot, that's never gonna travel. Armani, easy catch. Yeah, I mean, this is what I mean with both teams. Nobody really has an idea of how they want to get things done. We're both relying on the enemy goalkeeper making a huge mistake, apparently, which I'm not a fan of. Yeah, that's a rough challenge. Yeah, Mr. Krabs, it's surprisingly quiet, yeah. I mean, the fights usually break out in the second half, to be fair. But it's been a super quiet game. Which again, I don't think favors us more than it favors them. Oh, not able to recover the ball, and here comes River. Acuna with the cross, it's bad. Shot from outside the box blocked, okay. And now we're going a bit back and forth, it seems. What can we do against Zerledge? Yeah, ground. Gaining some ground, but again, where's the proactivity? Where's the movement of the ball? Movement of the ball is the main thing we need. Without movement of the ball, it's literally impossible to progress. It's the easiest thing to defend ever. If you had your 4 midfielders standing in a line, just passing the ball back and forth, and the defense, all they have to do is watch, because there's nobody running in behind them. Good tackle from Ayrton Costa. Is that a foul? No. How is that a foul, man? How is that a foul? And now River gets a free kick. Why did he take so long to actually give a yellow card for that? Like, I think it's a yellow card, but the fact that he took so long... Is that a yellow card? I don't think he even touched him on a second glance. I don't know if he ever touched him. I don't know if that's a yellow card. Yes, Franco Mastantuono, I know he's no longer at River, but he wasn't available. Yeah. And what a massive drop in quality River has seen ever since his departure. The second half of the year has been disastrous for River, and I think a lot comes off the Mastantuono sell, honestly. Yeah, we did lose at home 1-0 against River's basically substitutes, which I was extremely annoyed about. Who does it favor more? I guess it favors Boca more because we are ahead in the table, and it kind of makes it so that River cannot catch us anymore. But I think it would be a wasted opportunity to kick River while they're down. The draw does favor Boca, I would say, when it comes to the table. But at home, when River is this bad, I think that if we don't beat them, it's really a wasted opportunity. Acuna with the cross to the second post. We cleared away kind of, but River recovered possession. Driussi in behind Barinaga gets dispossessed, and I think that's a throw-in for Boca, yeah. So we escaped danger there from that set piece at least. I really hate watching Boca defend set pieces. We are so bad at them. Yeah, that's the official World Cup ball as well. We are getting closer to the World Cup and we don't even realize how close we are. Okay, finally we see a scrap on the pitch, at least something to get excited about, kinda. Oh my god, so Marchesín is gonna take this free kick. Let's see, we play long. Ball gets cleared away. And we start over again. Man, I just hate how both teams play. Really, it's so frustrating to see both teams play. Both teams are so bad, chat. I cannot explain to you guys how awful it is to watch this. Okay. Blanco on the left once again. Is he gonna put in a cross? He has to get past somebody first, it seems, but he's gonna get dispossessed again, and the loop continues. One team has the ball, one team pushes forward, one team loses the ball, and repeat. Hasn't been too bad. I personally think this game has been horrible so far. Barely anything to talk about, barely any clear chances to speak of, if any. Goalkeepers barely having any work besides making routine saves and catching crosses. No, Barinaga, what are you doing, man? You need to clear that away better, please. River continue to have possession on our half. Okay, that's gonna be a free kick for Boca. No card for Acuna, I mean. World Cup winner tax, I guess. Ah, man. Well, the good part is that we only have a few minutes left until halftime, and we are spared of this absolute travesty of a game. The bad part is that we are almost done with the first half, and Boca hasn't even created much danger and hasn't even threatened Armani that much, which I'm really, really annoyed by. I really think this was a game where we could potentially come out guns blazing and just catch them off guard. Jimenez? Chango! No! Saved by Armani, Chango! Goal! Goal! Out of nowhere! Goal! 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 Out of nowhere! Out of absolute nowhere! There was nothing going on in that game. Nothing going on in that game. Nothing going on in the game. And it exploded in... This is a beautiful game. This is a beautiful game for a reason. Nothing is going on until there's something going on. And that's all you needed. A running behind. That's all you needed. Yeah, he's definitely onside. That's all you needed. A running behind. Ceballos appears. I've been telling you, like I told you in the preview, he's been improving. His first shot was awful, by the way, but Armani's response is not much better. He lets the ball slip away, and he's there to catch the rebound and push the ball inside the net. And just like that, we're leading in La Bombonera before halftime, just before halftime, because they added 2 minutes. Oh, the response from Armani is really not good at all. No, the first half was boring, Mr. Krabs, but that's what happens with football. Like, it's boring and nothing's going on until suddenly everything's going on. And that's all we needed, a running behind. It was not so difficult. I don't know what the River fans are complaining about, because Ceballos was clearly onside there. Armani's response was not good. They are arguing that from Jimenez is a foul somehow. That's never a foul, by the way. If they're arguing that from Jimenez is a foul, the game is truly gone, by the way. The game is literally gone if that from Jimenez is a foul. No. Yeah, I see it, Adam. I see what they're protesting, but if that from Jimenez is a foul, like, the game is gone. Football is dead as we know it. That is never a foul. That is literally never a foul. What is going on with my hair, by the way? Yeah, yellow card for Acuna for protesting. They're really arguing for this one. I really don't think it's anything. No, that's never a foul from Jimenez. What a moment for Ceballos after the injury, after not being considered. Yeah, goal confirmed. After not being considered as a starter for so long, to be now on a streak of actually scoring goals. That's it, the goal confirmed, and that's also going to be the end of the first half, I believe, if I understood the signs of the ref correctly. I believe, no, the game has to be resumed at least. 1 more minute. Okay, 1 more minute we're going to play. Yeah, 1 more minute. But the goal has been confirmed. There was absolutely nothing there. What a breath of fresh air, because nobody had been better that first half. But again, this was a game where we needed to kick them while they are down, and getting this goal late into the first half really is gonna shatter their morale, or at least I hope so. Oh, don't tell me we can get a second before it's over. That's gonna be a foul. That's a free kick for us. Oh, please let this free kick go through. Please let us have another chance. If we get a second before the end of the half, that would be so massive. Merentiel drawing in yet another foul. They can handle the temple temperature, of course. Of course, it's like an oven in there. It's getting heated. They cannot withstand the heat. All right. Last ball of the first half. Leandro Paredes with the delivery inside the box. There's the cross into the far post. It doesn't seem like nothing's going to come from it. Delgado is going to get dispossessed, but that should be the end of the first half. Yeah, okay. That's the end of the first half. Man, I mean, yeah, the away fans have to watch it on TV, sadly. I mean, what a terrible first half that was in terms of football by both teams. Both teams absolutely atrocious in the first half. Basically nothing to speak of, because River basically decided to just play 4-4-2 haram ball, tossing the ball as far as they could and hoping that Salas would, receive the ball, hold it, wait for somebody, or try to make a play of his own. And Boca were having most of the possession, but it was mostly not doing much with the ball and having the ball for the sake of having the ball and not doing a lot with it. No movement of the ball, which was really frustrating. Super slow and stagnant, and yeah, very, very frustrating from Boca's end. Both teams awful footballing wise, but the moment came when there was a long ball that was headed by Milton Jimenez and Ezequiel Ceballos making the right run at the right time. And his first finish Not great, I gotta say. Not a good finish from Ceballos, but the response from Armani was extremely poor. And with that, he was able to catch the rebound and score so far the only goal of the match, which is putting us in the lead. And it's massive to get a goal that late into the first half, just before halftime, to kind of give them something to think about during halftime, raise our morale, put their morale down. And now it's about closing this game out. Now it's about truly kicking them while they're down. As it stands, Boca is qualifying to the Copa Libertadores. We need to remain calm and actually get the job done now. La Secta Deportiva is live for the game. Yeah, I believe they're not called Secta Deportiva anymore. I believe they changed that name for reasons. Like Secta was not really like an appealing name, so they changed it to Fútbol Digital, I believe. But yeah, they make really good coverages of the games. A few of my teachers for the commentating course that I took actually are commentators for Secta Deportiva, now called Fútbol Digital. And yeah, they're really good at their job and also really good at teaching the art of commentating and narrating games. So I mean, it helped me a lot with expressing on the microphone when it comes to these games. So I thank them a lot for that. But yeah, they really do a good job. Fútbol Digital, yeah, exactly. Some of my teachers are from there, and yeah, they do an amazing job. All right, I'll be right back. I'll go make myself a coffee real quick, and I'll be back. Make sure to leave me your first half thoughts, if you have any, in the comments for when I come back. But yeah, I'll go make myself a coffee, and I'll be right back before the start of the second half. Alright, sorry about that. Coffee ended up turning into coffee and a bit of a snack. Oh, so like, I think I'm gonna close the blinds too, because like the lighting is looking really off. Give me a minute. Yeah, I think that should be a lot better when it comes to the lighting at least. Yeah, I mean, it's fair to call Fútbol Digital still Secta Deportiva, but their old name is just, you know, feels more natural. They've been known by that like for a longer period of time, so I guess it doesn't really change much in the end. I mean, I think I already gave my thoughts on what that first half was. It was just horrible from both teams. Both Boca and River not really having an idea of what to do with the ball, which was horrible to watch for like 45 minutes. But then Boca basically out of nowhere get that goal, and yeah, it's now potentially we have a game in our hands now that River has to go for it, and Boca's gonna have to deal with the pressure of being on the lead, and we're gonna have to close it out and potentially make use of the pockets of space that River is gonna leave behind them, since they're pushing for the result. It's so tough to predict what's going to happen now, to see if Boca are able to close it out from this position, or if we are once again going to crumble under the pressure of, you know, being on the verge of doing something good, which wouldn't be the first time. Not specifically against River. I don't know when was the last time that we were in the lead in a Superclásico. I believe it was the last one we won last year in Córdoba. So like, I don't know. I hope that pressure doesn't get to the players, or at least it doesn't get to them in a negative way. Alright, the team should be walking out onto the pitch any minute now. Ooh, Quintero is on for River. Finally. I think that's probably something the River fans were waiting for. And we're underway here in La Bombonera for the second half of Boca Juniors 1, River Plate 0 in the Superclásico of Argentine football. Kind of like we hinted at, Gallardo deciding to go for the game. Takes off a center back, Rivero, and puts in Juan Fernando Quintero, Colombian attacking midfielder with plenty of experience and very talented, to try and give River another creative outlet and potentially create some opportunities that can trouble Marchesín and potentially go for the result. So I think that Gallardo doing the sensible thing, which is not going with the back three or the back five anymore, playing to what they know, even if what they know wasn't really working before. At least it's more like their style, and it may suit them better. As I say that, Ceballos is attacking on the left once again. He's dribbling inside the box. Ceballos on the middle. Goal! Goal! Out of the gate. Goal! Goal! Carajo, vamos! 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 Out of the gates. Out of the gates. That's exactly what I wanted. That's exactly what we needed. That's exactly what they needed. They make the offensive substitution. And right after kickoff, Ezequiel Ceballos once again being the difference maker, beating his man and winning on the left-hand side. Great from Ceballos, pouncing on a defensive mistake from Martinez Cuarta, cutting inside the box and squaring it down the middle for Miguel Merentiel, the striker, to tap it in and making it 2-0 for Boca at the start of the second half right away. Well, now it seems like we're cooking, Mr. Krabs. It was a slow burn, but when it hit, now we're cooking. What a way to start the second half. What a way to start the second half. Chupa. You could say that. I mean, that's more of a Brazilian term, but yeah. Man, Ceballos, another goal contribution. And this, like, I know the first one was his goal, but this truly was a deserved goal contribution. And that's what you call an assist for Merentiel to score the second goal. And what a time to score the second goal. Just after they made that offensive substitution and had their minds into getting that equalizer, now they are in a deeper hole than they were previously. And they have to start digging once again. What a hit to their morale that must be. And what a boost to our morale. We need to take advantage of this. Like, we cannot rest in our laurels. We have to go for the result. Go for the jugular. Kick them while they're down. For now, it seems like River is pushing forward, but that's an easy cross for Marchesín to catch. Well, Enzo and Julian, most likely they are not very happy about what's going on, if I had to guess. Funnily enough, there is a picture of Julian Alvarez as a kid wearing a Boca jersey or a full Boca kit. So I don't know if his family's upbringing was like old River when he was growing up, but I can definitely see that he grew more attached to River after being in their academy, obviously. Enzo seems to be like River through and through, especially considering his name. Enzo Francescoli, one of the biggest legends of River Plate. What is up with this? Do you see this? Like on my hair? Like it keeps doing this twirl that is like really annoying. Alright, River is in possession right now. It seems like they've gotten a hold of the ball for now. Okay, good from Blanco to clear the danger away. But, you know, obviously River may get some of the initiative now, but I think it would be a mistake to sit back and try to defend this result right now. Definitely, River is a bit groggy. They're against the ropes, and we have to go for the knockdown. Yeah, I think he was also wearing a Real Madrid shirt as a kid. Kind of. Yeah. Yeah, I think there's a hatred from Flamengo fans towards River, and for that... Ooh! Come on! Come on! Armani comes off his line! Okay, Armani has to be sent off for that. No, only a yellow. Yellow for Armani. Like Armani came off his line. Came outside the box to try and block that shot. And, I mean, touched it with his arms. What a run by Carlos Palacios, by the way. He tried to square it down the middle. And yeah, but Armani outside the box making a straight up save with his arms. And gets a yellow card for it. I guess that's what the rulebook says. That must be normal procedure. Right there. Okay, don't mess with the antenna right now. I mean... In my opinion, it should be a denial of a goal scoring opportunity, but I think maybe the rules apply differently to goalkeepers in that situation. I don't know. Seems a bit weird to me. Let's see what we can do out of this cross. But this is exactly what we have to do. Go for the juggler. Kick them while they're down. But as with the cross, it's like low cross and it gets cleared away. I think that then, like going back to your point, there is a hatred from Flamengo fans to River fans, and that's where a friendship between Boca and Flamengo kind of grew out of nowhere. That I appreciate a lot. I have a Flamengo fan, Silva, love him a lot, and yeah, we exchange memes a lot about Boca and Flamengo being friends. Please, man, please let us get a third. Make this historic. Okay, we clear away that cross. That cross was quite dangerous. Portillo for Acuna. Acuna goes for goal, but that's gonna be a goal kick. The shot from Acuna going above the crossbar. It would be so big for this to like end like this. So massive to qualify to the Libertadores in this fashion. And then wait what happens in the upcoming matches to see if River make it into the Libertadores even. Great from Merentiel. Great from Merentiel to win the ball back. Now gets some teammates into the box. Tries to put in a cross. Gets cleared away. Oh, great header. Ceballos. Vamos. No, Jimenez. Ay, Jimenez. I mean, I think Ceballos could have shot himself as well. Yeah, Ceballos was onside. Ceballos is onside. Jimenez is onside as well. Everything is legal. Everything in the play is legal. There was no offside. If that had gone in, VAR would have approved it. But Jimenez not able to get the finishing touch. Ceballos possibly had an opportunity to shoot as well, but choosing to assist his teammate once again. In the end, it's a wasted opportunity, but Ceballos is playing such a good game. Ceballos is playing the game of his life at the best moment. Wow, 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 wow. Yeah, we need to convert those chances. Like, we cannot be lamenting not scoring those chances after this game is over. We cannot have that happen. Okay, Ceballos, great touch. Oh, Ceballos is absolutely cooking them, by the way. Okay, that's gonna be a goal kick for River, but Ceballos is absolutely cooking them. Ceballos is frying them right now. Oh, what a great play. Great. See, we needed those quick ball movements in the first half. Oh my god. Oh my god, Ceballos. Oh my god. No! Jimenez, no way you missed that. Jimenez, no way you missed that. No shot you missed that. No way. No, how do you miss that? That was such a good play. That was such a good play. We moved the ball around. We swinged it from the right to the left quickly, ran past their defense, cut them in half like a hot knife against butter, square it to the middle. Jimenez appears all alone on the far post and he's not able to tap it in. How do we miss that? Those are the chances that we need to convert. What a play from Blanco on the left. Reminds me of his play against Benfica at the Club World Cup. And Jimenez, once again, not there with the finish. That's an amazing cross from Blanco. It's perfect. But the finish from Jimenez is just faulty. It's not good enough. Misses the target entirely from there. That's crazy. So 2 more substitutions for River. Castaño subbed out for Galopo and Driussi subbed out for Borja. Interesting that Borja is the choice. I mean, Borja is very much hated by all of the River fans and his contract runs out in like a month and a half. And yeah, he's been in an awful run of form when it comes to goal scorers, but I'm sure that if he were to get a goal in a Superclásico, most River fans would forgive him even for leaving and letting his contract run out. And all of the frustration from before. I mean, as long as he scores a goal that gets him a result, of course. Oh, like the change in this team when they are confident, it's crazy. They change in this team when they're confident. All they need is confidence. Now that we're 2-0 up, we look like prime Brazil. I don't know what's going on. The confidence on these guys. If only we could play like this all the time. Or like for a good chunk of a game, instead of just having to see this team snip bits throughout the game, like few minutes here, few minutes there. If only this could be the norm and not the exception. Look at that run from Ceballos. My goodness. Fried Martinez Cuarta, and the layoff for Merentiel was perfect. Did absolutely everything right. Ceballos did absolutely everything right. My goodness, man. My goodness. Please, man, I'm begging. I'm on my knees, figuratively. Free kick for Boca, foul on Palacios. The desperation is clearly there for River. Please don't let them revive for no reason. Ooh, Paredes for Jimenez. Jimenez not able to control the ball again, man. Jimenez. That's basically 3 chances. This one was quite hard. He needed to have a really good first touch, and we know that he's quite limited, but like, he wasted 2 clear opportunities. At least. We need to be prolific in the final third if we're gonna keep having opportunities like that. They are on the floor. Kick them and stomp them. Don't let them get up. Please. Please, I'm begging. I'm on my knees. Don't let this slip away. Okay, Juanfer with the cross. Punched away by Marchesin. Barely we cleared away of... Hi, Marchesin. You're gonna give me a heart attack if you keep punching the ball 2 feet away from your own box. Yellow card for Montiel for a foul on Ceballos. Yeah, I mean, the only intention from Montiel there was to hit Ceballos, not even going for the ball at all. 100% a yellow card. See, this is what what happens. Like, they begin losing, they give into frustration, they become thugs. It's always how it is with these guys. I really don't trust our defense, and I really don't trust Marchesin. I would be so much more comfortable if we were able to score a third now that River is groggy against the ropes. Come on, all of La Bombonera is standing out, cheering you guys on. If this doesn't motivate you to see this result through, I don't know what will. Esta hinchada loca se revienta por la copa. ¿Qué pasó con el fantasma del descenso? They're showing Dua Lipa again. ¿Qué pasó con la gallina y San Lorenzo? Nadie quiere venir a la Bombonera. That's a foul. That's a foul. That's a foul. Give the foul. Why is that a yellow? What is that a foul? For River. Come on, man. La que siempre te acompaña. La que está en las buenas y en las malas. Okay, we have a free kick. Surely this is going inside the box as well. Sabes que yo te quiero, siempre voy con vos, es un sentimiento. Acá está la 12, la que siempre te acompañan, la que está en las buenas y en las malas. Vamos, Boca. Come on now with this free kick. Paredes with the cross. Into the box. Great header. Oh! Goal! No, it's offside. It's really offside. No, please tell me it's onside. Oh, that had been a great header. Please tell me it's onside. No, Merentiel is offside. No, Merentiel is offside, man. No, Merentiel is clearly offside. Ah, that was almost a third because the header had been so good as well. What an incredible save from Armani on the initial header. And then Merentiel scores from the rebound, but he's obviously offside. But the initial header, what a save from Armani to prevent his goal from falling once again. Insane header and insane save from Armani. And then Merentiel just happened to be offside. That would have been perfect to get the third right there. The cross. Marchesín comes off his line and catches it. Thank God. Thank God for that. We're so close, Chad. We're so close. This is it. Win this game and we're back in the Copa Libertadores next year. And River are in a very dangerous position. We're putting them down. Okay, that's a foul. That's probably going to be a yellow card too on Palacios. No. Pookie, thank you so much for joining. We're doing it, man. Finally, we're getting a result, it seems. Although now River is pushing for it. Inside the box, nothing. That's not a pen. Never a pen. Never a pen. He fell on his own. But that had been a dangerous cross. Oh, what a play by Ceballos. Oh, Ceballos, what a run. Palacios, you have to put that through ball. Palacios, Ceballos again. Come on, come on. Please. No. Oh, come on, man. We have to finish those opportunities. We cannot be missing those. We cannot be wasting those opportunities. Jimenez, it's the third chance in a row that you missed this second half. Third chance this second half that you missed. Another straight one-on-one. And somehow you take so long to finish that Pablo Diaz cuts you off. Oh my God. Why are you doubting so much to take that shot? Yeah, no, never a penalty on Montiel, by the way. Never a penalty on Montiel on the previous play. If anything, Montiel is the one who kicks the Boca player. I'm so glad that we had a 2-0 lead before any shenanigans happened. Oh, Borja inside the box. Cleared away. Oh, okay. Foul for Boca. Thankfully. And a yellow card for Borja. Apparently, Borja went with his foot up on Ayrton Costa. Let me take a better look at it to see what Borja was up to. He took a bit too long with that first touch. Oof, and yeah, then after trying to kick the ball, the tackle is dangerous with the sole of his foot on Ayrton Costa. Gives him a yellow card. Could have easily been a red, honestly. Ceballos did everything absolutely perfectly for that second goal. Everything was perfect from Ceballos in that one. It seems like Palacios cannot go on. There surely will be some substitutions now for Boca. Galarza received a yellow card for River. Gallina vigilante, siempre hiciste amistades con el rojo. A donde estés, te va a alentar. Y dale, vamos a ganar. Yeah, no, like, it's been a while since Boca played this good against River. It has to be comparable to that game in Córdoba last year. It feels like a long time since River has been this outplayed in a Superclásico. Ceballos is by far the man of the match. The first goal, and then in the second half, taking the game by the neck and making it his. Getting the assist for Merentiel, and then creating every single goal scoring opportunity that came afterwards. Well, somebody was asking about Ander Herrera. Now Ander Herrera is going to hit the field, replacing Carlos Palacios. Let's see what Ander Herrera can do now with this. He has like 20 minutes to make an impact in the game. Why is River still keeping Marcelo Gallardo as manager? I'm surprised, because they're living in the past. They're trusting that because it's their best manager in their history, or at least the manager that has won the most, if they give him enough time and resources, he's gonna figure it out. And there's nobody better for the job right now, no matter how bad his results and his work seem right now. They prefer to give him time because of what he's done in the past than trying their luck with somebody else. they essentially gave him the keys of the club, at least the football part of it. He can do everything he wants. Yeah, no matter how bad the tactics are, the substitutions or the players that he brings in, or the transfer windows or whatever, it doesn't matter. They prefer to keep trying with him because of what he's done in the past than trying their luck with somebody new. If in their heads, if they give him enough time and enough resources, eventually he's gonna bring them back to the glory days. So far it's been over 2 years and no trophies to show for it. About $100 million spent on transfers and not a single trophy to show for it. Merentiel with the shot, Armani lets it spill out but manages to catch it afterwards. I thought somebody was going to be able to tap the rebound, but it wasn't the case. Great shot from distance by Merentiel. Really troubling Armani, who's not having a good night or a good day. Happy to see Herrera on, one of the only United players to play well for us. We really were a United retirement home for some time, yeah. Yeah, I mean, but now Boca feels like the retirement home for Herrera and for Cavani, although it seems like Herrera is actually trying, unlike Cavani, and he got quite unlucky with the injuries, but what I've seen from him, his cameos in the last couple of games, have been pretty good from Herrera. I'm happy. I hope he can keep it up, because I think that if he can keep up physically, his technical ability is greatly appreciated in the context of Argentine football. Here we have this chance once again. Merentiel cutting inside to his right foot, fires a shot, goes straight at Armani, but Armani lets it spill. And it was dangerous because there were some Boca players lingering around the box, Ceballos, Jimenez, but nobody was able to tap it in. Yeah, Romero and walking red card. Rojo, I'm so happy that them both are out of my club, finally. Rojo during the half of the year, and Romero, like only a few weeks ago, left for Argentinos Juniors. I'm so happy they're both out of my club. Ole! 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 Oh, hey, that's a foul! That's a foul, and that's a yellow card too. Yeah, you were getting frustrated by the crowd teasing you, Galopo, weren't you? You little brat. Sit down, kid. How dare you foul somebody like that? Nah, fouling Paredes like that because you were getting mad at the crowd just going all on your ass. Bitch, sit down. Sit down. It's a tough foul on Paredes, like. I wonder if Paredes, yeah, it seems like it's fine to continue, but like, that was a tough foul on him. Oh! Jimenez! Is that a penalty? Penalty! Penal para Boca! Look at that. From that free kick, Paredes, like Di Lolo was about to shoot it like long, and Paredes is like, no, let me do it. He lofts it inside the box. In my opinion, Milton Jimenez is onside. And the River defense just fall asleep at the wheel. Jimenez gets to control the ball. Armani comes off his line and brings him down. That's a penalty. Yeah, of course Cavani is on for the high-profile game. Luckily not on to take this penalty, though. I mean, VAR is surely going to take a look at this one, because I do think that Jimenez is just barely onside. They're going to have to draw lines, but that's 100% a foul from Armani on Jimenez. That's clearly a penalty from Armani. Not only does he put his hand on his chest, but also the leg in between Jimenez's legs brings him down, both up and down. Definitely a penalty. I mean, what they're arguing is that Jimenez is the one to kick Armani after Armani crosses the leg. I mean, but Armani is stretching his leg out in between Jimenez's legs. Like, where is Jimenez's legs? Where are they supposed to go, by the way? I do believe that it'd be wise for the referee to take a look at it in VAR, because I don't think it's as clear-cut as it seems, or as it seemed at first. I think it's a complicated situation. Yeah, and it might be offside as well, but I could swear that it was on. Yeah, he's gonna go check it. I mean, I think it's fair that he goes to check it out. I believe it's fair for the referee to check it out and give his full opinion. Let's see. I don't know, man. Because Armani does cross his leg in front of Jimenez's run, but then it's true that is Jimenez the one to make contact with Armani and not the other way around. Gallardo looks like he's aged a decade during this game. Let's see what the final decision is. I think he's gonna go back on his decision. I don't think he's gonna give it. Okay, no pen. No pen. I mean, I feel like it's a decision that could go either way, honestly. I feel like it's a decision that can go either way. No penalty in the end. Jimenez gets a yellow card for protesting. Alright, I'm sure there's gonna be a lot of stoppage time because of how long the play was stopped for the VAR checks and whatever nonsense. So besides only having 5 minutes of regular time left, I'm sure there's gonna be a lot of stoppage time. So we need to calm down and see the rest of this game out. The penalty situation is already past us. We don't care. Alright, Paredes subbed out. Belmonte is gonna come on. Once again, Paredes, great game. Thank you so much for coming back. Truly a difference maker. Paredes, Paredes, Paredes. Now Belmonte comes on. And also Merentiel is subbed out. And Braida is subbed in. So, I mean, I just hope we see the rest of this game out. So I think Cavani is not even making an appearance. You expected more from this game? Well, you'd say that. I honestly was expecting the first half to be repeated once again, so compared to that, the second half has been a pleasant surprise, I gotta say. Another cross, and once again caught by Marchesín. Again, River has been relying so much on these crosses into the box, and I gotta give it to him. Marchesín has been really secure and safe and confident when it comes to catching these crosses. It's not easy, and doing it consistently gives the team a lot of security at the back. Especially since it's what River is relying upon for their threat. Okay, that's a foul from Ceballos. River gets a free kick in near their own box. But Ceballos once again continuing to have a fantastic game. Look at that. What is Paulo Diaz doing? Oh my god. He just threw the ball out of bounds. What was that? What was that pass? Ceballos for sure, man of the match. Ceballos 1000% man of the match. Oh. Jimenez, square it down the middle, man. Jimenez, square it down the middle, man. Ceballos was all alone down the middle. Jimenez once again missing a one-on-one opportunity. Getting bested by Armani. Why didn't you square it down the middle for Ceballos, man? That was the third. 3-0 would have been such a statement. Why, man? Why? How many chances are you gonna miss, man? Jeez. Merentiel would have done the right thing there. What is that? What is that shot? Corner for River. Gets in a good cross. Oh my god. Misses the header. Oh my god. River almost get a goal right there. That was so close. That was River's best chance this entire game. Because that was actually a really good cross that Marchesín could not reach. And Galarza's header, just wide of the post. It was absolutely unsavable. There was nothing that Marchesín could have done. Galarza was all alone. All alone. Incredible that that didn't go in. Incredible that Galarza was that alone in our own box. And even then, he missed the target entirely. We are so lucky that didn't go in. That should have been a goal for River, and now 8 minutes of stoppage time. I don't think it's ridiculous, because the game was stopped a long time because of the VAR check for the penalty and other bullshit. I don't think, it's not necessarily that Boca was time wasting, but like the game was stopped for long periods of time. I don't think 8 minutes is ridiculous. But like, if River had gotten a goal right there, which it felt like they should have, based on how alone Galarza managed to get a header in the far post. If he had hit the target, that was a goal. And then River had 8 minutes to try and get an equalizer, and it gets like really scary. Oh, we need to clear that away. Okay, boys. Let's not get desperate in these last few minutes. That's a foul for us. Thank you. Ceballos had the game of his life, man. Ceballos is so good. Ceballos showed up big time. Bro, how was Galarza that alone? That's crazy. Somebody lost their mark really, really bad right there. And Galarza just straight up missed the target. Incredible that Galarza missed the target from that range. Alright, we're gonna play this one long. We still have 6 minutes to go. That's a foul. Free kick for Boca. Yeah, definitely a foul by Portillo. And now surely we just go for goal here. So many B ghosts. So many ghosts. Look at that. So many ghosts. The party has truly begun on the stands. Suben y bajan, parecen ascensor. Baila la dulce, baila. Baila de corazón. Suben y bajan, parecen ascensor. Let's see Ceballos with the free kick. Imagine he scores a direct free kick to cap off this campaign. Oh, it was not that far off. It was not that far off. He's really sure that it's a corner, that it bounced off the head of somebody on the wall. It kind of looked like it did. It kind of looked like it did, but the referee ended up giving a goal kick. It was not that far off from capping off that amazing performance with a direct free kick, Ceballos. Quintero, not able to get a comfortable shot. Nice. Very well defended. Very well defended. Okay, but we need to play the ball faster so that we don't get dispossessed like that, please. There's another cross. All alone, Montiel, a volley. Quintero with the shot, blocked. Okay. Okay, thank God. We're not doing this at the end, please. We're not doing this. We're not doing this right now. Another cross, they're in desperate. Come on, please, don't let it happen like this. Galopo with the cross again. Salas with the shot. Ooh. Okay, thank goodness. Salas' shot goes wide, but there was like a solid minute there where River had a lot of possession inside of our box, and it made me really uncomfortable. Alright, so Cavani's not even gonna feature. I'm so happy, actually. It was unfair for him to come onto the bench again for this game and feature Ceballos, the man of the match, subbed out. The man of the match. He grabbed this game by the neck and made it his pitch. That's what Ceballos did. And now Zenon being subbed in. Zenon, another player that I want to see us recover. I'm gonna get only 3 minutes of playing time. There are so many goals on the stands. I'm so happy. You guys cannot understand how happy I am. You guys cannot understand, like, finally seeing a dominant performance against River and finally beating them when it mattered, beating them while they are down, qualifying for the Libertadores again, and putting them in dire straits, making them rethink their entire existence, everything they've worked for so far. Oh, and Zenon is gonna get a chance as well. Tries to put in a cross. Gonna get cleared away. Somewhere appealing for a handball. I don't think it was anything. Almost another intervention. Oh, Ceballos is crying. He cannot believe, like, the ovation after everything he's gone through. Guys, we've finally done it. They've added 1 more minute. Come on, man. Let this be over for once. Okay, River is going to have another opportunity here. Montiel cuts inside. Borja. Is that a foul? No. Acuna with the cross, cleared away. Quintero, that is not a good cross, but the ball is still inside the box. Yet another cross from Salas. Scramble for the ball inside the box. Martinez Cuarta gets dispossessed. Is that a corner, it says. They say it's a corner. That's it! ¡Vamos! 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 ¡Carajo! ¡Vamos! ¡Bien! ¡Bien! Finally, man. Finally. I don't remember how many Superclásicos we've done on the stream. This must be like the 3rd or the 4th. Finally, we get a win on stream. And what an important win it is. And in what fashion? It was dominant. That second half was so dominant. The first half was whatever. Both teams sucked. But the second half was dominant. Honestly, we could have scored like 2 or 3 more if we took our chances. And River had absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. And now Boca has qualified for next year's Copa Libertadores. Finally, I'm gonna be able to do the Copa Libertadores reviews and have Boca in them. I can't believe it. Finally, Boca is back in the Libertadores. And like I said, that's the bare minimum. Like, I'm happy, but that's the bare minimum. Like, this is not a good year for Boca. This is not a good year for Boca at all. But now, we can say that we've actually accomplished one of the objectives. One of the objectives at least has been accomplished, and that is qualifying for next year's Copa Libertadores and beating River in a Superclásico, especially this one at home. And this puts River in a complicated position, because now it comes down to the final match day to see if they can make it into the preliminary stages of the Copa Libertadores. Else, they have to win the tournament, which I don't know if in their current state they can do. And now Boca has to go for the championship as well. Now Boca has to take this momentum and go for the championship too. We cannot rest on this victory. It's great. We beat them. We put them in a more miserable spot than they were in before. We qualify for the Libertadores. Now our mind has to be on winning that trophy. I'm so happy, man. I'm so happy. Good stream. Thank you, Mr. Krabs. Yeah, relief. Definitely a relief. The tribute to Miguel Ángel Russo on the stands for this victory. And finally, after 2 embarrassing years, Boca are back in the Copa Libertadores. And finally, we get an important win when it matters against River. Finally. Finally, when it matters, we actually pull it off against River of all teams. What a night. What a day. What a day. What a day. You guys don't know how much I needed this. To win this type of game and in this kind of fashion. That's exactly what I needed. I'm so happy. I'm so happy, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. That was a great stream. I cannot explain to you how happy I am for that. Thank you to everyone who's joined. Thank you to Adam. Thank you to Regista. Thank you to Mr. Krabs. Thank you to AD, who also popped in once. Pookie too. Thank you to everyone who's watched. Maybe we didn't have as big as an audience today, but I really appreciate your participation, your commitment to this channel. It was great. We get this massive victory. Boca Juniors has beaten River Plate in the Superclásico of Argentine football 2-0 and has qualified for next year's edition of the Copa Libertadores. And that's it. That's all that matters for now. Now we'll see if we can actually go and push for that trophy. Thank you all for watching. I'll be seeing you all really soon in more watch-alongs, in more videos. Stay tuned for more content coming in the channel. Thank you all so much for watching again. I'll be seeing you all